Hi, welcome to the Oak Trader Report on the 3rd of November. Just covering some stocks here in the pollution control sector and a couple of stocks from the fibre optic sector in America. The first up are the pollution control sector stocks, ticker symbol MEA. I just wanted to put this up here to show you the bottom it reached at the back end of 2008, and it seems to have reached another bottom here in 2013. Nice multi-year double bottom there, which is always a good technical signal. You draw some lines down here. This bit of action here has broken the downtrend, same as this bit of action here where my mouse is. The only thing that I would wait for perhaps to really confirm that this had changed course, if you draw a line from the top of these high areas, these spikes, and you draw a line down, you get to around the $2.50 level. Once it breaks that on the upside, then we should have a technically strong market for an upward movement. Right now there really hasn't been enough accumulation action down in these low areas, but big moves do develop from action like this, and it has happened in the past, and we can see a nice curve action coming around here as well. So perhaps this has a chance of staying around this area, maybe moving up to around 3 and coming back down to 250 and spending a couple of years mucking around, or perhaps this is the start of a big movement up. Only the future will be able to tell us that through price action, so I'll be keeping an eye on this, and this is going onto the watch list. Those of you that are trigger happy may wish to buy it, but at the moment I think it's probably best just to watch it. But it does look good, and I might consider buying some in the next couple of weeks. Ticker symbol TRR. Wanted to put this up here to show you the action. If you look where my mouse is, back in 1996 and 97, about the times of Greenspan's speech on irrational exuberance, this market was bottoming out. It wasn't in a bubble by any shape or form. If you look where my mouse is, draw a line, the downtrend was broken about here. The market consolidated and went sideways, and as it broke out of this consolidation action at 4 with a nice flat top triangle, if you draw where my mouse is, the flat top here and the other part of the triangle here, you can see nice breakouts, the first stage, the second stage, the third stage, the fourth stage, up into a huge distribution area, wild volatility, wild price action, and lo and behold the market came rocketing back down over a multi-year period. A new cycle has begun here where my mouse is, very short-term action though, and that's why I don't really trust this movement up, although it could spike up from here. Not too sure what's going to happen from here. It does look to have a bit of a triangle forming, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a shakeout with this stock before its upward move commenced, and it could come back and form a base and develop strength from there. I'm just not too sure, but it's definitely one that I've been keeping an eye on for the last 3 or 4 years and will continue to do that. And if some of you want to put it on the watch list, strictly from a learning point of view, not only from a profit perspective as well, this will be an interesting stock to follow. Ticker symbol FTEK. Again, big downtrends being broken, shorter term downtrends being broken. We've got a triple bottom here where my mouse is, 1, 2, 3, and it's developing a nice base action there. Draw a line, bit of a triangle breakout, maybe a little triangle here where my mouse is as well. This looks to be good for a continuation, although I would say that this action here really hasn't been of any significant length in terms of accumulation, but it just depends on how well the sponsors have managed to accumulate stock with these dips down. How well have they negged people out? If they've negged people out pretty well and they've managed to accumulate the stock that they need for an upward movement, then it will begin. And if you look here, this downtrend has been broken by this action here, although I would say the longer term downtrend, if you draw a line, hasn't been broken. So the technical action of the stock is still in a kind of wait and see situation, but it definitely looks good for the future, and I'll be buying a little bit in on a speculative nature and holding on to what I've got as well. But again, I won't be really going in heavy to this stock till it probably at least breaks the $4.65 level again. This is it on the monthly. You can see in the past where this downtrend is, beautiful accumulation action. That's what we're really looking to see to have real confidence in the market. You've got nice accumulation action, a steady move up, and then a move back down again, building up strength, what we would call a consolidation area, a nice triangle breakout, and then the uptrend has begun, and then the parabolic move signifying that the uptrend is about to cease, and then the wild distribution giving you another further signal that the market's about to tank. And if you look here where my mouse is, you draw a line all the way down. The severe downtrend has been broken with this action here, and this just looks to be like it's bottoming out. Nice curve action as well, and this looks to be one that's going to develop a lot of power for the future. Although again, you know, we could see this muck around for 2 or 3 years, or it could take off in the next 6 months. That's just the drawbacks to this type of way of trading. Where there is the pleasure, there must also be pain. Ticker symbol VTNR. Great looking chart here on the $5 parameters on the monthly. Big distribution here. The market comes back down where my mouse is, and the downtrend has been broken, and the market continues on sideways. It's had little moves up, threatening uptrends, and then coming back down, and this really negs investors out when this happens. I mean, if they've been holding on to their stock for a year where my mouse is here, they see a nice uptrend developing, and then all of a sudden it becomes dead again, and the market dies, and it becomes very low in terms of price action. This can really neg people out, even more sometimes than downtrends, and people sell out in disgust. And the professionals, one would assume, would accumulate more, and it looks like it's just building up strength here. But I would say where my mouse is here, if you draw a line, once it breaks that sort of $4.80, $5 level, we can definitely say for sure that this will be in a strong uptrend. I have bought some, and I have held on to some of the stocks I've held in this for almost 3 years now. So this is a stock I've been holding on to for quite a long time, looking for different areas to purchase more stock. And I believe once it breaks out of this consolidation here where my mouse is, once it breaks that line, I'll be buying more, and the uptrend would have begun, and it should be a very strong one. Ticker symbol CLWT. Funny looking stock here. Quite a lot of action here on the monthly. A lot of spikes up, a lot of volatility in this stock. And what we've seen in the last 2.5 years, we've seen a lot of dullness, a lot of negativity really. Gradual downtrends being broken. This gradual downtrend here, when this was broken, was a powerful signal to me to start accumulating some positions in this stock, and I'll be looking for this market to move up to around the $7 to $10 level. And you can see the nice curve action as well. It looks to be good to go, I would say, in the next 6 months to a year, but it could take a bit longer. But I would say that it could easily reach $7 to $10 from where it is now. Ticker symbol PLL. Wanted to show you on this market a potential short developing. If you draw a line here and you draw a line here, normally we see a parabolic move out of those sort of upward pointing triangles. I wouldn't be surprised to see this stock maybe go to 85 or just under 90, maybe up where my mouse is here, which will be a good signal to me that the distribution is not too far away in this stock, and we could see that this stock distributes in the next 6 months to a year. So if you're long this stock, be very careful and look out for short positions in the next 6 months to a year to profit from this particular stock. But again, there's no point short on a stock like this until distribution develops, but it's one definitely going on the watch list to short sometime in the future. Ticker symbol GPRC. Quite a relatively new stock here in the recycling sector. Draw a line down here. A lot of the public participation, I assume, bought into the stock with these large spikes up, induced by the price action to buy in. A lot of them have probably sold out, especially on these little spikes, and the dullness and the nature of the stock has changed from weak to strong hands, and we look to have begun here an upward movement. But again, it could fall back again, who knows, but I would say that the probabilities of this moving higher from where it is now, because it was a fairly new stock, are pretty high, somewhere between the 70 to 80% range on the upside. If it falls back, I doubt it will fall back more than 150, 120. So the upside, you've got quite a lot of upside potential and minimal downside risk. Ticker symbol ARCI, big long movement on the downside here, just showing you how a base can develop, how it can really stress you out sometimes, and really not do much over a period of time. Even though we saw a move here from 2 or 3 up to 10, which is a decent percentage move, again the market breaks the downtrend, it's in a nice steady uptrend, and then it falls back across. But if you look here where my mouse is, this action here signifies that this downtrend has been broken, and I would wait till that this signal, if you draw a line from where this high is, this high, and draw a line, once it breaks out of that above say $3.80, $4.50, around that range, and breaks above 5, I'll be looking to go long this stock, and it could have a tremendous move behind it. It's been building up a lot of strength over the years, and usually from these long base areas we do see very large moves develop. So we could see this potentially, this stock, somewhere in the next 2 to 3 years sitting at around the $20 to $25 level. But I would say from where it is now, if it does break some of those gradual downtrends, we could easily see this stock sitting around the $7 to $10 level in the next year to a year and a half. Ticker symbol CWST, drops down here. You see this action where my mouse is. Lots of spikes up, not too much time spent in the lower areas, so this wouldn't signify to us good downtrends. Even though it had broke the steep downtrend, it hadn't broken the sideways downtrend of 16, and also these swings were too wild. It wasn't as quiet as if you look where my mouse is here, the tightness of the range of the price action. That's what we're looking for. And if you draw a line from where my mouse is here down, this action looks like it's breaking that gradual downtrend, and this market looks good to go to at least the $8 level, and from there it may consolidate, but it looks to be developing the power for quite a big move upwards, somewhere to around the $12 to $14 level, perhaps much higher. Could take again 6 months to a year for this market really to take off. Ticker symbol CCC. Just wanted to put this up here. Huge head and shoulders on the monthly chart. If you look where my mouse is here, here's the shoulder, here's the head, and here's another shoulder, and it's broken out of that. If you draw a line here, this action signifies it's broken out and of this mini consolidation area as well. Even though this action's not as tight as this action, which does make me worry a little bit, it has broken out on the upside, and it is a decent head and shoulders long-term formation. So I think that this market, it could have a setback to 15, but I think from there it definitely has the power to move up to around the $25 to $30 level from where it is now. But it is quite a speculative move from where it is now, and a safer bet would be sticking to a long-term base action near the lows that's developed multi-year support. But again, this stock does look good to go in the next few months, and we could see a move easily. Even if it doesn't shake out here and it carries on the uptrend, we should see it at least power up to 25 to 30 over the next 6 months or a year. Ticker symbol CECE. I just wanted to show you how a beautiful uptrend should look on a 5-year weekly chart. Gradual uptrend developing. This section here, then it has another step up consolidation, this section here to where my mouse finishes, then it has another step up with a triangle type formation on the breakout of this third consolidation, then another move up, and then if you draw another triangle, another breakout, and the market here with the parabolic spike is signifying something. Only once in the last 5 years really has it had a sustained parabolic spike, and that was my action here where the mouse is, but even that wasn't that significant, whereas this spike is much larger, and it may continue up a lot more. Once it spikes like this, sometimes depending on who's short the market, it really could push higher in some kind of short squeeze, some kind of cornered situation here. But what I'm trying to get across here is what Livermore talked about the price action changing. For the last 5 years we've had steady upward movement, and now we're starting to see price volatility and wild price swings in the stock. And I'll just show it to you on the monthly, and you can see here it's developed into an extreme uptrend. From $2 it's all the way up to 19, significant percentage gains of over 800%, big spike up from 14 to 19. It may spike higher from here, but what I would suspect in the next 2 to 3 months we're going to see some wild price action and distribution here. So if you are long this stock, I would be looking to sell out and looking for a short position over the next 3 to 4 months. This action here with the parabolic spike doesn't give me any confidence in the longevity of the uptrend. But again, if you draw a line here where my mouse is at 5, you draw a line all the way up somewhere around the sort of $16 level, after we've seen some wild swings here, and it breaks the $16 level on the downside, would be a good signal to short the market. These are the couple of stocks in the fibre optic section, ticker symbol OCLR. Again, not too much on the accumulation side here, but some nice gradual downtrends being broken where my mouse is, just here with this spike up. And we've got a great little curve action going on, and we've got some steep downtrends being broken as well. So this stock is interesting. It's going on the watch list, and I expect it to either A, consolidate from here, have maybe another setback, or C, continue with its uptrend. You've just got to watch these stocks for further action and then try and decide from the price action what's going to happen. So this is definitely going onto the watch list, and it looks good and powerful for the future. This is ticker symbol again OCC on a 5-year weekly, just to show you what it looks like. Remember that stock I showed you a couple of stocks ago on the short side trade, when I was showing you how a stock should look if it was in an uptrend. This looks like it's doing quite nicely. One little uptrend here where my mouse is, a spike up, what we don't like to see really, a come back down, and this looks to be forming a second step here. If you look back to the range, if you draw a line where my mouse is here along here, if it breaks the $3.50 it may test the downside again, and now I would consider that the pivotal point here. And on the upside, the pivotal point would be around the $5 level, and it should continue its uptrend if it breaks the $5 level. And here it is on the monthly. It's a little bit deceptive because it's a $20 parameter. There has been some spikes where my mouse is here and here, but during this long base action there has been decent amounts of accumulation and moves up, and then steadiness, and then just utter nothingness. And what's happened is a long-term base has developed, and some of this action you wouldn't call accumulation, but there is a lot of it that you would consider accumulation, and this stock looks set for a huge rise in the future, somewhere back up to the 20, 25, maybe even $40 level at some point. It's one to watch at the moment, and it looks pretty good for a further rise in the next 6 months on the long side. Okay, thanks for listening. That's it for now. Over and out, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.